morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third inauguration of Mayor Greg Fischer and the swearing in of the Metro Council and other local elected officials. I'm Neeli Bendapudi, and it's my great honor today to serve as your MC. Thank you. Please stand as we welcome the leaders of our great city as we greet the members of the Louisville Metro Council, followed by local elected leaders. Please give them a round of applause. And now a moment that I know you've all been waiting for. Please welcome the Honorable Mayor Greg Fischer, his wife, Alexandra Gerasimitidis, and their children, Eleni, Nick, George, and Mary. And now, please remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Louisville Metro Color Guard and the national anthem sung by Pat Matheson.
Color Guard, forward, march, sail, 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 right, sail, 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 right, sail, 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 right. March time, march, sail, sail. Ready, fight! Detail, halt! Present, arms!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
Thank you, Pat, for that incredible rendition. Now, please welcome Pastor Vincent James of Elam Baptist Church in the Parkland neighborhood. He also serves as Mayor Fisher's Chief of Community Building. Pastor James, please come up and give the invocation.
If you would bow your heads and close your eyes with me. Let each of us come to our God in prayer. Almighty God, known by many names, heard in many voices, giver of all knowledge and understanding, to whom all life is sacred, we invoke your presence with us today. History is indeed your story. The scriptures tells us, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. The Lord is one. And you are the compassionate and merciful one, and you are loving to everyone you have made." Today we gather recognizing that you have given us many blessings and achievements, oh God, and you have allowed us to experience an incredible life of our beloved city. We invoke your continued blessing upon our mayor, the elected officials, and all those who have supported our city in making Louisville the best city to live, work, and play across this country. Oh God, we come together on this historic and solemn occasion to inaugurate once again Mayor Greg Fischer. Teach us afresh that power and wisdom and salvation come only from your hand. We pray, oh God, for Mayor Fischer, to whom you have entrusted leadership of this city at this moment in history. We pray that you will help him bring our city together so that we may rise above the bigotry and hatred that has spread across our country and seek a larger vision of your will for our city. Use him to bring reconciliation between races and healing to political wounds, that we may truly become the one shining Louisville you created us to be. Give our mayor all the advice, and those who advise him, calmness in the face of storms, encouragement in the face of frustration, and humility in the face of success. Give us the wisdom to know and to do what is right, and the courage to say no to all that is not in thy will. We ask your blessings upon all who could not be here today because of other commitments and obligations, illness, and even as they've ended their earthly pilgrimage. We pray for the security of our city and the safety of those who defend our freedom, whoever and wherever they are. Make us so ever mindful upon the shoulders we stand, well as those who follow in our path. Instill in us this day the awakening sense that the lives we live and the achievements we accomplish are not ours individual success, but for the collective good of humanity. Give us a strong sense to use radical imagination, the audacity to drive us to envision a new and better city, a city where the walls of inequity can be torn down and the gaps between the rich, the poor, the have and the have-nots, the uneducated and educated can and will be closed. Fill us with a deep sense of gratitude and blessings that have been bestowed upon us. Let us not forget that we have been blessed to be a blessing as we demonstrate compassion toward our fellow citizens. Open our hearts this day to receive and give love and affection that gives this life its greatest meaning and blessing. And God, let your divine favor be upon Mayor Greg Fischer and First Lady Alex and their family. We declare that no weapon formed against them shall prosper. And as I close this prayer, O God, of many names, we ask all of this for our sake and the sake of our city. I humbly ask this in the name of the one who changed my life, Yahshua, Esse, Jesus, Jesus, who taught us to pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. And let everyone say amen.
Now you may please be seated. Thank you, Pastor James. What wonderful words. I hope we remember them today and for the days to come. It is truly such an honor to be here among so many esteemed guests who lead our nation, our state, and our city. And we'd like to recognize some of them now. From the Kentucky State Senate, Leader Morgan McGarvey, along with his colleagues from the Senate. From the Kentucky House of Representatives, Leader Rocky Adkins, along with his colleagues from the House. Members of Metro Council, and our elected officials who will be sworn in shortly. Also joining us today are Tommy Elliott, Mayor Fischer's Inaugural Committee Chair, and the Inaugural Committee Honorary Chair, Lynn Fischer, Mayor Fischer's sister. Please give them all a round of applause. Every one of these elected officials, no matter what side of the aisle they are on, they are ones who've said, we are not going to just sit idly by. We will step up and be part of the solution. And they cannot do that without the strong support of their families and their friends. So now, I want an even louder round of applause for the families of all of these elected officials. Jefferson County Circuit Court Judge Brian Edwards will now administer the oath of office for our Deputy Mayor, Commonwealth Attorney, County Clerk, Circuit Court Clerk, Sheriff, the County Judge Executive, Property Valuation Administrator, and the Coroner. I ask these elected officials to please stand.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I would once again just like to extend a heartfelt congratulations and a thank you to each of you all for your willingness to serve this community and to share your gifts and talents and time with all of us. All right, as we begin, I'm going to ask, starting with Deputy Mayor Hessen, if you could, each of you all, to identify yourself, raise your right hand, and then I will proceed with the oath.
I, David Allen Nicholson, Jefferson County Jefferson County Sheriff Colonel John Aubrey.
I, Jefferson County PA Colleague Member. I, Barbara Jones, Jefferson County. I,
Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and the charters and ordinances of the City of Louisville, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky and the City of Louisville, so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of
County Sheriff.
Jefferson County PA.
according to law. And I do solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God. Congratulations.
Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to tell you that as your MC, I have not fought a duel either. And now, District Court Judge Eric Hayner will administer the oath of office to the members of the Metro Council who serve in odd-numbered districts and were elected in November. I ask those council members to please stand as Judge Hayner approaches the podium.
Good morning. I'm honored to be here today to administer the oath of office to the new and returning members of Louisville Metro Council. And again, thank you all for all you do to make Louisville the greatest city. Are you all prepared to take the oath? If you would please raise your right hand and state your name, starting first with Councilwoman Jessica Green.
I, Jessica E. Green, Metro Council District 1. I, Keisha Dorsey, Metro Council District 2. I, Ron Curtis, Metro Council District 5. I, Paulina Crane, Metro Council District 7. I, Delano Curtis, Metro Council District 9.
I, Mark Fox, Metro Council District 13.
I, Kevin Wood, Metro Council District 6.
I, Anthony Piattini, Metro Council District 19.
I'm Nicole George, Metro Council District 21.
David Yates, Metro Council District 25.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Louisville, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky and the City of Louisville, so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of according to law. And I do solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Metro Council members, and thank you to you. And now, a very exciting event for all of us as Louisvillians and citizens of the Commonwealth. Ben Solee and Jason Claiborne will sing, "A Change is Going to Come."
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Yes, it is. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me, don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me down, back down on my knees. Oh, there have been times that I thought I couldn't last long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Yes, it is. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it is.
Gosh.
In 1 second till they remove the mic, and then we'll go on.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. If you didn't get chills while that song was going on, you better go to the doctor. Something's wrong with you. Could you please join me in giving a rousing applause, a very grateful round of applause to Ben Solee, Jason Claiborne, and Scott Moore for the amazing music today and for that performance. Thank you, thank you. And now, please welcome Supreme Court Justice Elizabeth Hughes, who will administer the oath to Mayor Greg Fischer.
Ready to do this for a third time?
That's right.
All right, Mr. Mayor, if you will repeat after me. I, Gregory Edward Fischer, do solemnly swear
I, Gregory Edward Fischer, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Louisville,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Louisville,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
in our city of Louisville,
in our city of Louisville,
so long as I continue a citizen hereof,
so long as I continue as a citizen hereof,
and that I will faithfully execute,
and that I will faithfully execute,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the office of mayor according to law.
the office of mayor according to law.
And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
And I do further solemnly swear, since the adoption of the present Constitution,
I, being a citizen of this state,
I, being a citizen of this state,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it,
have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it,
nor have I sent or accepted a challenge
nor have I sent or accepted a challenge
to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge,
nor aided nor assisted any person thus offending.
nor aided or assisted any person thus offending.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Judge.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the 50th mayor of the most lovable and livable city in the United States of Louisville, for the third time, Mayor Greg Fischer.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate everybody coming out this morning. Special thanks to my family, my wife Alex, and our children, Eleni and Cody, George, Nick, Mary, my siblings, Lynn, Mark, Paul, and Chris, my wonderful parents, George and Mary Lee. I'm so happy you guys can be here. My mother-in-law, Eleni, and a special recognition for my father-in-law, Nick Gerasimides, who peacefully passed away just 2 weeks ago. Thanks to the Metro Council, all of our elected public servants, and our great Metro government team. I'm honored to serve alongside of you all. And a very special thank you to all of our public safety professionals. They're on duty today, every day, and every night, working to keep us safe. And I know we all appreciate you all. And the greatest thank you to the people of Louisville for giving me this opportunity to serve 4 more years as your mayor. It is a tremendous honor. Now, many people have asked me, why did you want to be mayor for another 4 years? The most basic answer is, because this is my home. And my parents taught me that it's not enough just to love your home, you have to work for it. And sometimes you have to fight for it, so it can be a better place for everyone. As mayor, I love my city unconditionally. And just like we can love a person and still recognize that he or she isn't perfect, we can love our hometown, yet still recognize that there is more work to do. Work to make sure that our economy continues to grow and evolve with changing times, and work to ensure that each of us has the opportunity to reach our full human potential. That's how my team and I define our city value of compassion. That core value, along with health and lifelong learning, has guided us for these past 8 years, working alongside business and community and faith and nonprofit partners who share that same relentless optimism that tomorrow will be better than yesterday, because of the work we're doing today. We're dreaming even bigger, and we'll move even faster and work even harder in the days ahead. Because only one thing has fundamentally changed since Election Day. Now we know exactly how much longer we have the privilege of serving the people of Louisville. Starting today, 1,457 days. That may sound like a lot, but believe me, it goes really, really fast. So we must embrace what Dr. Martin Luther King called the fierce urgency of now. That's why we've created a 100-day plan, much like we did in my first term, because we want our citizens to see that we have the same urgency, sense of urgency today. In 2011, that urgency helped bring our community together, and collectively, we lifted our city out of the recession and produced an economic renaissance with 80,000 new jobs, 2,700 new businesses, $13 billion in capital investment. We've remade our skyline, we've built bridges, we've created landmarks, we've grown tourism into a booming year-round industry attracting millions of people from all over the world. What we're experiencing right now is a period of prosperity unlike anything we've seen in generations. And that's because of our focus on innovation, globalization, and entrepreneurship, and because of our beautiful citizenry and thousands of companies that call Louisville home. And that's worth celebrating. It's also critical to remember the words of Nobel Prize-winning economist Joseph Stiglitz, who said, "The only true and sustainable prosperity is shared prosperity." Not everyone in Louisville is sharing in our prosperity, and that's not acceptable. My team and I feel that fierce sense of urgency to create prosperity and possibility that reaches every home in every neighborhood, because for our city to succeed, it's essential that everyone shares a sense of connection to a bright and a hopeful future. So that means it's time for us to aim higher and dig deeper in order to go farther as a city. And that doesn't just mean more economic growth. It means smart and sustainable growth. Growth that sows the seeds of equity, where every citizen has access to a great education, career opportunities, quality health care, housing, and the means to create a successful life. Equity means doing what it takes to shrink the 12-year difference in life expectancy that exists between some zip codes in our city. Equity means putting an end to the statistic that 1 in 7 Louisvillians, like 1 in 7 Americans, live in concentrated poverty. Equity means we address the challenges like poverty, housing, and hunger that cause too many children to show up on the first day of kindergarten 3 years behind their peers who have more resources. These are challenges that result from broken and outdated national systems like education, healthcare, social welfare, and workforce training. It's as if, as a country, we're trying to meet the needs of the people in the digital world with analog systems and thinking. At the same time, we're seeing an economy that's producing a massive concentration of wealth at the highest income levels, while others are left far behind. That is an unwise and unsustainable trend that makes it harder and harder for people to achieve the American dream. And as uncomfortable as it may be, we also must recognize that much of the inequity that we struggle with today is the result of deliberate actions by government and other institutions. This is particularly true for our African American brothers and sisters. From slavery to Jim Crow, redlining to urban renewal, to voter suppression and beyond, these and other systemic racist policies have robbed generations of minorities of the ability to pursue their dreams and betrayed America's promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. These policies created burdens and barriers that we must work together to knock down. For without justice, there is no peace of mind, nor of spirit, nor of community. This is not an ideological argument. As mayor, I am in the reality business. And the reality is, as Louisville and our nation grow more diverse, and technology and the global economy continue to evolve, we need all of our people involved. We must ensure that everyone feels a sense of belonging in our future and has equitable access to the resources they need to thrive and contribute to our community. Because whether you live in Fairdale or Fern Creek, Parkland Prospect or PRP, Butchertown, Berrytown, Germantown or Rubbertown, you deserve the same shot at a hopeful future. Over the next 4 years, we will take important and unprecedented steps as a city to come to terms with our history and work together to create a more equitable future. As a business person turned mayor, I can testify that creating a more equitable city where everyone shares in our prosperity is the right way forward, both morally and economically. Want proof? In the last 4 years, 20,000 Louisvillians have lifted themselves out of poverty, and 17,000 families have joined the middle class. That means more families now contributing to our city, more families able to give their children a future filled with hope and possibility. Shared prosperity means more customers and qualified workers for our businesses. Shared prosperity means safer streets, healthier neighborhoods, and better schools. Shared prosperity means more prosperity for all of us. Imagine if every family in our city made a living wage, just a living wage. It would add over $1 billion to the Louisville economy every year. So how do we do that? We'll build on the successes that we have. Let me give 4 examples. First, workforce. We'll continue upgrading our workforce development and technology infrastructure to create more opportunities for people to transform their lives. People like Tina Maddox. Tina was a stay-at-home, single mom with no background in technology. She enrolled in Code Louisville and now works as a software developer. Tina is one of more than 335 people Code Louisville has connected to tech jobs and careers with average salaries around $50,000 a year. And the current waiting list for Code Louisville? Over 1,200 people. We're in the process of radically growing our tech training programs so we can win even more of the jobs and talent of the future. We're already making progress. Last year, our city achieved a fantastic milestone by being recognized as a top 15 city for millennial growth. We're changing the narrative of our population from brain drain to brain gain. And attracting even more young professionals means we need to keep working on things like protecting our environment and cultivating our outdoor spaces. It means expanding our festivals, our art, music, culture, and food scenes. And it means further growing bourbonism, downtown living, and the amenities that you see in all growing cities. Amenities like bike lanes. Second, our built economy. In the next 4 years, we'll complete important projects like the Soccer Stadium District, Colonial Gardens, Paristown, Logan Street Market, and the new Northeast Regional Library. And look at what's happening in West Louisville. Nearly $1 billion of investment funding catalytic projects, the expansion of Waterfront Park, the Louisville Urban League Sports and Learning Complex at 30th and Ali, the YMCA and the new Passport headquarters at 18th and Broadway, and the Beecher Terrace and Russell revitalization. For that work, we're collaborating with the people of Russell, along with businesses, faith groups, and other community partners to make sure we restore the great legacy of this neighborhood, once known as the Harlem of the South, without displacing anyone who wants to remain there. West Louisville, of course, was the home of Muhammad Ali. And when we talk about incredible things happening there and throughout our city, we need to channel a little bit more of the champ. Muhammad called himself the greatest of all time, and he made it happen. He said, "It ain't bragging if you can back it up." So let's brag about this city that we love. So much about creating a thriving city is about attitude. Let's tell our friends, relatives, and business associates who live elsewhere about all the great things happening here, the authentic experiences, the culture of compassion, innovation, and opportunity that we're creating. Let's not be shy about telling people all over the world that wherever you're from, however you worship, and whomever you love, there is a place for you in Louisville, a proudly diverse, a proudly welcoming, and a proudly compassionate city. That brings me to the third example of success we're building on, globalization. We embrace people from all over the world, people like Dr. Neeli Bendapudi, our MC here today. She grew up in India and is now the dynamic president of the University of Louisville, a great partner to our city. Fernando Martinez, who escaped his native Cuba on a raft and is now one of our most successful nationally recognized chefs and entrepreneurs. And then there's Dr. Alexandra Gerasimides, my wife. She's the daughter of Greek immigrants who fled civil war in their own country to come to America. One element that unites each of these stories and the stories of so many successful people is our city value of lifelong learning, because education is the greatest equity tool. And that's the fourth example, education. We're going to invest even more resources in the coming years in our city value of lifelong learning. The economy of the 21st century is a knowledge economy, built on an individual's ability to learn and adapt in the workplace. That's why in the next 4 years, we will elevate our Cradle to Career framework into a premier lifelong learning system with 2 transformational features. First, we need to do more to get more young people ready for learning. We lose too many kids because their families struggle with poverty, addiction, mental health issues, access to health care, transportation, housing, hunger, and a host of other challenges. That's why we will work with Cradle to Career to provide comprehensive wraparound support services for children and parents through schools and community organizations. Second, we'll help create a scholarship program for JCPS graduates, giving them the opportunity to earn a 2-year college degree tuition-free. Our children must see that we care for them. Imagine the hope Cradle to Career gives to a child who struggles to see a future for herself, because she knows that while college is essential, her parents can't afford to send her. Imagine the hope that Cradle to Career sends to a single mom working 2 jobs just to keep her kids fed and clothed. And imagine the message we'll send to businesses looking to invest, start up, or relocate. Cradle to Career shows our citizens and the world that Louisville is the kind of forward-looking city that understands the critical value of lifelong learning in the 21st century. All of this is the future we're building together. All of us. Our victories over the past 8 years have given us momentum that we have not seen in decades, and fuel the determination to do even more. Now is the time to take the next great leap forward. We must be bolder, and we must take more risk, and we must do it together. Individual actions, yours, mine, yours. That's what leads us to collective strength. Us, together, now. That's why we're here. This is our home. This is our moment. Now, let's get to work.
Congratulations, Mayor Fischer. Thank you for that bold and inspiring vision. On behalf of your hometown, and now our hometown, us together now. I can't think of a better way to put the challenges and the solutions ahead of us. Us together now. In the spirit of us and together, I got an update on the script. So many of elected officials who are here that we are thankful that you're here. Attorney General Andy Beshear, Senator Neal, all of you, thank you for being here. And now this remarkable event, we will close with a benediction from Father Jim Flynn, the mayor's uncle, and I understand a very fierce advocate for social justice. Father Flynn.
Let us not bow our heads in prayer, but rather open our eyes to this memorable morning. We stand on our Louisville earth, surrounding our beloved Mayor Greg Fischer, his administration, and all who serve. May we hold them and our city in the palm of our hands and deep in our hearts. When the winds of compassion blow, may those winds be at their backs. When new languages waft over our city, may those same winds embolden our leaders and all citizens to embrace all with warm welcomes. When paths from other nations lead to Louisville, may our mayor, his administration, and all who serve rise up to meet them with grace and continued compassion. When roads or streets of division rise up, may Mayor Fischer and all who serve build bridges of peace and reconciliation for all. When roads less traveled require courage and integrity, may this administration lead all citizens to rise up to meet those roads. And may the sun shine warm on the faces of Mayor Fischer, his administration, and all who serve this community, and indeed, all of us citizens of Louisville. May the divine present in this universe, on this Mother Earth, and in our city of Louisville, hold all of us in the palm of the divine hands. So be it, so be it.